What is happiness? Have you ever felt happy? Will you ever be happy? Even if you were truly happy, would you even be able to tell? Happiness is so commonly found in everyday life that it can be a person's sole reason for even existing. This could mean having kids, drinking, getting a job, making money, and getting married. Happiness is ill defined. Should you pursue happiness, something that is proven to be evidently short? Although happiness in and of itself is a difficult task, it is subjective to what the person wants it to be. Happiness in a person could be shown by its divided selves, such as the mind and the body, our thoughts and actions, the chaotic and emotional side compared to the passionate and rational side. These all work in conflict with the opposing being. One of the greatest enemies of daily happiness is that of our very own thoughts pestering us with worries, doubts, and insecurities. To a degree, this can be blamed on our evolutionary, useful negativity bias, where if a person says something offensive, it can lead to sadness and pessimism. This is usually a good thing, as we wouldn't survive very long if we only prioritized our attention towards the stuff we find pleasurable. A way that will lead to happiness is being curious. Curiosity can be associated with higher levels of positive emotions, lower levels of anxiety, more satisfaction with life, and greater psychological well being. A strong desire to learn or create something can be fulfilling, allowing the person to be proud and feel joy of their accomplishments. The second, more popular approach towards happiness is meditation. Simple, but extremely difficult. Meditation is shown to reduce blood pressure, depression management, and stress reduction. Importantly, meditation allows us to see our thoughts as passing entities rather than fundamental parts of ourselves, relieving us of our fears and anxieties through constant practice. Thirdly, there is a cognitive behavioral therapy which borrows from Buddhism. Instead of trying to be happy, Buddhism pursues happiness through the true nature of reality, accepting your surroundings and who you are. Cognitive therapy trains one to use a set of tools to politely challenge and reframe the ruminating thoughts of every session. The patient is given small tasks such as taking a walk rather than staying in bed that provide a sense of relief and pleasure to one's mind, training them to better handle the far more pessimistic outlook. Now, this suggests the use of certain methods allows you to be happy. Yes, some people have brains that are frustratingly negative, and sometimes a pill is just far easier than years of therapy. It has even been shown to be as effective as therapy. Although, this way is pretty controversial, as some people genuinely believe in the term no pain, no gain, letting themselves use drugs as a firm way to cheat their way to happiness. Secondly, drugs can change the way someone thinks and acts. This means once a person is well adjusted, it will allow them to flourish in a new environment. Now that you have this less pessimistic outlook, this still doesn't bring happiness. Or does it? Happiness comes from within. Ataraxia, a state of serene calmness, which borrows from the typical notion of enjoyment and pleasure. Now, this doesn't mean you can't find happiness outside your body. You just have to follow the right path. The progress principle talks about two different ways of happiness: pre-goal happiness and post-goal happiness. Pre-goal happiness is the pleasure before you complete that object of gratitude, and post-goal happiness is the gratitude after completing that notion. The adaptation principle is similar to the progress principle, proposing no matter how happy someone is, it will always go back to a base level. This is why humans constantly plan events to try and find that gratitude and pleasure. The Stoics borrows from accepting your surroundings and controlling what is within, in turn your thoughts. And research shows that genes play a significantly higher role than the environment does in terms of happiness. People in colder temperatures expect people in hotter temperatures to be more happy, which is unfound. Same goes with attractive and unattractive people, even with wealth. as you don't find happiness in money unless you can reach your basic needs, which comes at an average salary of 75,000 or higher. However, despite what the Stoics believes, there are still some things that can affect our happiness. Firstly, noise. Even after blocking all the noise, it can be seen how unhappy people are. Second, commuting. Being stuck in traffic is never fun. Third is a lack of choice, like staying in school and having to study or being forced to do something else. Fourth is shame, as it can be shown through someone's insecurities. Fifth, and most importantly, are relationships. This can make or break someone's happiness for a really long time. Psychology researchers show happiness through the formula H equals S plus C plus V. S is the basic set point of our happiness. C can be shown through the external effects such as relationships and commuting. And finally, V is the voluntary actions. However, even if we reduce negativity bias and things that make us unhappy, we still aren't happy yet. Voluntary activities brings us flow. This can be doing activities such as surfing, having a really good conversation, or engaging in something to the fullest. This flow can also bring gratification, sometimes pleasure. Pleasure is something that increases emotion and excitement, where gratification benefits us in the long run. For example, having ice cream brings pleasure, but having too much would make us indulge in it. Gratification brings happiness when you get better at something like a sport. These are some steps that anyone can take to finding happiness. Firstly, you have to recognize who you are as a person. Secondly, you can change the way you're happy through meditation, CBT, or if necessary, you can do drugs. Thirdly, is to change some external conditions, like the environment around you, a relationship, or something that gives more choices. Fourthly, find something that has a sense of flow, like gardening, painting, or something that you can engage in. Happiness can be confusing sometimes. It doesn't have a true meaning and is different for everyone. There are some habits that can also be implemented to find happiness, like smiling. Smiling can increase dopamine, making you feel happier. But if you fake smile too much, it can start to feel like an emotional burden, draining yourself mentally. A second habit could be simplicity. This could also go with the saying, less is more, where doing one thing and focusing on it can make a better product than doing multiple things at the same time. The last out of many habits that I'm going to talk about is spending time with the people that you truly enjoy being with and love, like family or friends. Humans are largely considered social beings, so socializing can be very beneficial, allowing two like-minded people to connect and improve their well-being. Social connections can also lead to higher self-esteem through the acts of random kindness or volunteering to do something out of the pure nature of your heart. Of course, there are many other ways to be happy that aren't talked about in this video, like love. And the final thing about happiness is to follow your own path. Do what you are truly passionate about and find pleasure in doing. Don't let anyone else think otherwise. Be grateful and don't try to find happiness, because happiness and pleasure are two very different things. Let happiness happen throughout your life naturally. It will be hard to notice the happiness because you're not in the future or the past. But when you look back on all your memories, you'll be able to relive those moments and see how happy you are.